we may no longer be able to accommodate them.
Ultimatums were made.
She used this to kill herself. Why would you keep it?
Questions were asked.
Are you okay?
An ultimatum is a final demand. If not met by a set time, there are negative consequences. For example, do this by Friday or else.
Ultimatums are key.
Ultimatums were made.
You can't give them ultimatums.
I don't respond well to ultimatums.
Let's not jump to ultimatums.
Take your ultimatums and stick them in your ass.
Ultimatums or ultimatums?
I won't tolerate ultimatums.
Well, I can't be in a relationship with ultimatums.
I cannot stand any more ultimatums.
I found it in the ruins of Edie's home.
I found it under a bed. It's not mine.
Talk about dirty laundry.
Dirty laundry means clothes that are dirty and need washing. But it can also mean bad or embarrassing things about someone or a group. People don't usually want others to know these things. For example, no one wants to talk about their family's dirty laundry. Here, it's like the family's secrets or bad stuff they keep hidden.
You're the one with dirty laundry.
You clean up his dirty laundry?
You live in a pile of dirty laundry.
Not the dirty laundry I'm looking for.
My boss's dirty laundry.
You two are not here to air your dirty laundry.
Let's put away with my dirty laundry.
She didn't air her dirty laundry.
You aired your dirty laundry.
But I didn't have any dirty laundry.
News that an intruder had breached the security of Wisteria Lane spread like wildfire.
As a verb, breach means to break a law, an agreement, or make a gap in a barrier. For example, they breached the contract or the flood breached the levee. As a noun, it refers to a violation of a rule or an opening in a structure, like a breach of trust or a breach in the wall.
Some breach the network.
She breached the cockpit.
He breached the gate.
They breached the spaceport.
They breached the airlock.
You breached the keep.
You must have breached the sub.
You breached the door. I breached the last one.
We've breached the shell.
They've already breached the power system, sir.
At a neighborhood watch meeting the next night, residents voiced their concerns over the increasing dangers their community faced.
Voice their concerns means people say what they're worried about. Voice here is like when you use your voice to talk. Concerns are things that make you feel a bit worried. For example, students might voice their concerns about a hard test. They talk about how the test makes them worried.
I voiced my concern.
I voiced my concerns.
I merely voiced my concern.
Has he voiced concern?
They voice their concerns.
Who voiced this concern?
Yes, I voiced my concerns as soon as I got back.
Your concern is well voiced.
You're all gonna get a chance to voice your concerns.
I'm sure Adrian voiced that concern.
Mrs. Ida Greenberg announced someone was looking through her bathroom window whenever she took a shower. Bob Fisk warned those present that an unnamed government agency was listening in on their phone conversations.
Listening in on means secretly hearing others talk. It's like eavesdropping. For example, if you hide to hear your siblings' private chat, you're listening in on them. It's rude as it invades privacy.
You listening in on me?
Wait, you were listening in on that?
Listening in on Terry's thoughts.
You weren't the only one listening in on this therapy.
I've been listening in on the Angel Radio.
You guys were listening in on my therapy?
Listening in on our conversations.
Listening in on my dinner dates.
We've been listening in on their calls.
I was listening in on his phone.
Helen Vale spoke of a ruthless local teenage gang that had egged her minivan.
Egg as a verb has two main different meanings. One is to encourage or incite someone to do something, like they egged him on to take the dare. The other meaning is to throw eggs at someone or something, as in the vandals egged the building.
He egged me on!
He egged your store.
I got egged. Somebody
Everyone gets egged on Halloween.
Just egg the napkin. She's been egged!
somebody egged me.
You also egged your partner?
We egged him on.
We haven't egged it.
My car.
There are three factors that contribute to
The evening concluded with Officer Thompson offering safety tips and a plan of action.
A plan of action is like a detailed guide for doing something. When you have a goal, like wanting to learn a new language or clean your house, the plan of action is the list of steps you create to reach that goal. It tells you what to do first, second, and so on.
Plan of action! What's your plan of action?
What's your next plan of action?
Have you any plan of action?
We need a plan of action, Margaret.
Absolutely.
Sir, tell him our plan of action.
We need a plan of action.
Oh, here's the plan of action.
Let's figure out a plan of action.
We need to set a plan of action.
So why weren't you sitting with Mike tonight? I thought you two were becoming an item. I sort of thought so too.
The phrase an item means that two people are in a romantic or exclusive relationship. It implies that the two individuals are more than just friends. They are a couple. This usage has become common in informal English to describe a romantic pairing.
Sounds like they're an item now, huh?
Are you and Mark here an item?
They're an item?
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys an item now? I thought you two were becoming an item.
You and Chuck are an item, huh?
We are not an item.
Were you two ever an item?
Hey, I mean, they're not an item.
I didn't know that you two were an item.
Getting a lot of mixed signals. I'll tell you who wasn't giving mixed signals was that sexy Officer Thompson. He was staring at you all night.
Mixed signals means that a person gives messages that don't match. They might say one thing, but do something else that's different. For instance, if someone says they're happy to be with you, but then they keep making excuses to leave early, that's sending mixed signals. What they say shows they like being with you, but what they do shows they might not want to stay. This makes you unsure about what they really feel.
Getting a lot of mixed signals.
I think she's sending mixed signals.
I'm getting mixed signals from you.
Very mixed signals.
Okay, I'm getting mixed signals here.
I'm getting mixed signals. Oh, you're sending out mixed signals.
There's no mixed signals.
Okay.
But I'm getting mixed signals.
With the mixed signals I'm receiving.
The next day, as residents began to patrol Wisteria Lane in the hopes of foiling potential burglars, Gabrielle was about to experience a home invasion of her own.
Foil has different meanings. As a verb, it can mean to stop a plan from succeeding. For example, the hero foiled the villain's plan. It can also mean to make qualities stand out through contrast. In a story, a shy character can foil a bold one. As a noun, foil is a thin metal sheet we use to wrap food. It can also be a person or thing that makes another more noticeable by being different, like in a play.
I must have foiled it somehow.
Jennifer Grey is the foil.
Foiled again.
Little aluminum foil and some bleach.
My pistol needs foiling first.
You prefer the foil?
Tastes like tin foil.
It's wrapped it in tinfoil to keep it warm.
Forgot our foil helmets.
The engine's running a foiling.
We do strive for diversity here at Barcliff. Identical twins could make for an interesting addition.
The boys are fascinating. They even have their own twin secret language, don't they, Tom?
Yeah.
A secret language is a way of talking that only certain people know. It's made so others can't understand. Some kids make a secret language. They do this to talk privately, just among themselves. Sometimes, people like spies use a secret language. They don't want anyone else to know what they're saying.
Secret language was so lame. See, we got our own secret language, too.
Secret language.
It's a secret language.
Secret language.
Maybe I should have said it in my secret language.
The secret language.
There it is, the secret language.
It's a secret language, all right?
The secret language of flowers.
Did you hear there was a break-in at Mrs. Frome's the other night?
Yeah. I heard they didn't take anything.
Well, that doesn't make it any less frightening. I mean, he could have been a sexual predator.
Break-in can mean entering a place by force and without permission. Thieves might break in through a window of a house when no one is home to steal things. It can also mean getting used to something new. When you buy new shoes, you need to wear them for a while to break them in. Then they won't be so uncomfortable and will fit your feet better. Another meaning is interrupting a conversation. If two people are talking and you suddenly start speaking without waiting your turn, you break in.
There's no sign of a break-in.
Looking for signs of a break-in.
Heard about the break-in on TV?
There was a break-in.
We've had a break-in at Baker Street.
There's been a break-in.
Absolutely no sign of a break-in.
They said there was a break-in.
The casino break-in?
When he ended up at Mrs. Frome's? Boy, that would have been a lose-lose situation.
Rex, that's not the point.
A lose-lose situation is the opposite of a win-win situation. It's a situation where everyone involved ends up losing or getting a bad outcome.
It's a lose-lose.
It's a lose-lose situation. It's a lose-lose scenario.
True, that is a lose-lose.
Okay, if we do lose-lose. What we have here is a lose-lose. It's lose-lose, you know.
Engel says it's a lose-lose.
It is a lose-lose situation.
Lose-lose, no happy.
Rex, The truth is, with the kids gone, I'll be all by myself in this house for the first time in 17 years.
Honey, I know it's hard to hear, but the marriage counseling might not work out. You need to get used to being alone.
Workout has multiple meanings. Physical exercise. I work out at home with simple routines to stay fit. Solve a problem. We must work out how to fix the broken toy. Calculate. Work out how much you'll spend on groceries. Develop or turn out. The plan worked out just fine.
Told you it'd work out.
There's nothing to work out.
Didn't work out so well for buttons.
I usually work out with friends. Nothing ever does work out for us.
Didn't work out.
Things work out the way they're supposed to, I guess.
But that didn't work out.
Things didn't work out?
I mean, you look like you like to work out.
While the residents of Wisteria Lane kept up their patrols in an effort to prevent future break-ins, Lynette hatched a plan to break her children into Barcliff Academy.
You hatch a plan, you create an idea to do something. It's like making a map for what you want to happen. Let's say a kid wants to get a pet. They might hatch a plan to convince their parents. They think about all the good things about having a pet, like how it can be a friend. They plan to tell their parents how they'll take care of it, like feeding it and cleaning up after it.
We're hatching a plan!
Well, I am hatching a plan too.
Are you ready to hatch a plan to raid the hospital's coffers?
Yeah, this is why you don't hatch a plan with Connor the first fucking pancake.
And so, Aunt Lily hatched a plan to crash a prom.
Second you get your foot in the door, you'll start hatching a plan to put me on the street.
And so, we hatched a plan.
So, they hatched a plan.
So you remember the cop from the neighborhood watch meeting? He agreed to run a fingerprint check on the screwdriver I found at Mrs. Fromm's house.
Run a check means to look closely at something to see if it's okay. For instance, when you buy a used bike, you should run a check on it. Look at the wheels to see if they turn smoothly. Check the brakes to make sure they stop the bike. This way, you can tell if the bike is in good shape.
Run a check.
Run a check. Did you run a check on him?
They did not run a check.
Let's run a check on Doyle.
You run a check on this guy?
But you better run a check on the Narn anyway.
You don't mind if I run a check?
Run a check on all 6 tracers.
Run a check on Michaela Vandy.